Now, in just a few moments, I'm going to give you a heads up what's coming up here in just a little while. I know a lot of you that aren't from Arizona, you may be familiar with the name now. The man who has written the law, who was a big part in writing the law from Arizona's Senate, his name is Russell Pierce. Russell Pierce is running just a little bit behind. Russell Pierce will be here in about 15 minutes, so stick around. You're going to get to hear from Senator Pierce in just a few moments. You know what I find interesting? That everywhere there's been a television camera in the last 3 months now, it seems, Phil Gordon's been everywhere there's a camera. Where's Phil today? I want Phil Gordon to stand at this podium and look into your eyes and your faces and use the words Nazi and use the words Holocaust. It's unfair to say. I want to thank all of you for being here. The worst case scenario is that someone loses their life that's here illegally. There's a story of a man who served his country in Iraq. He was in the Gulf War. He came home to his family where he thought he'd be safe, and he lost his life. Well, actually, I shouldn't say he lost his life. The man was stabbed by an illegal immigrant. His wife is here. Her name is Elizabeth Okon. I want you to hear this young man's story, and I want you to stand close and listen to this woman tell you about what happens when it's not checked at the border. I want you to welcome Elizabeth Okon. I said that.
Hi, my name...
Tell him the good news, since I screwed up.
Yeah, he didn't die. He's alive today. My name is Elizabeth Okon. I am the proud wife of Specialist Jason Okon, who fought in a combat overseas in the war, and while he was under relentless enemy fire, he identified insurgent forces trying to ambush their element, conducting key positions, and he was awarded the Bronze Star with Valor for this action. Many of you here today know what it is like to fight for your country. You know what it is like in a war. You know the sacrifices that families all have to make and how hard it is when our soldiers come home. I see all veterans as heroes, whether you are a combat veteran or not. You sacrifice so much for your country, and I thank every one of you. How would you feel if you came home from a war unscathed, only to be attacked in the front yard of your home by a stranger with your 2-year-old daughter looking on? When all you wanted to do was ask that person what they wanted, and they stand outside your gate only to come running in with a knife in hand and taking you by complete surprise after you push your 2-year-old daughter in the house due to a threat, only to turn around and be stabbed instantly. This is what happened to my husband, Specialist Jason Okon. He was stabbed while my daughter and I looked on by Armando Martinez Lozano, who lived 2 houses down the street from us. My husband was rushed to Good Sam Hospital. There he was in medicine-induced coma and on life support for 16 days. The first night in the hospital, Detective Brian Kors with the Phoenix Police Department stated to me this was a hate crime against a U.S. soldier. I could not believe what I was hearing. Who hates a veteran? Armando Martinez Lozano was not under the influence when he viciously attacked my husband. He was an illegal alien committing an act of terrorism on our American soil. I went to Mr. John McCain's office pleading for him to do something on 4 occasions, and he did nothing. I even gave him a picture of my husband on life support in his hospital bed, not knowing if he was even going to make it through. And John McCain did nothing. But when he was running for presidency, John McCain called Specialist Jason Okon to try to boost his campaign. I could not believe this. We could not be bought. My husband, Specialist Jason Okon, had to learn to walk all over again after being attacked. After this attack, he became a hermit. He was afraid to go outside. He got enough courage to go into public right here and spoke in front of the House of Representatives, walking with his walker and an American flag attached to it and his Bronze Star up on his chest. He showed the House what Armando had done. Their jaws dropped seeing the wound that still existed upon his abdomen. And Kirsten Sinema and Detective Matt Browning from Mesa had called my husband a domestic terrorist. And I have a copy of all that on tape. To call a veteran who is decorated a terrorist is an abomination. I am outraged. The real terrorists and terrorism in this country are the illegals that commit all the acts of violence on our American citizens. I have read the Senate Bill 1070, and I, as a proud American citizen of a veteran, support all our Law Enforcement and Safe Neighborhoods Act. I am going into law enforcement myself, and I feel this bill needs to be expanded across our entire nation. Thank you. I flew here from Wisconsin on my own dollar, and I am with the riders. If anyone would like to make any kind of small contribution to cover the cost of me coming out here and supporting this bill, I would appreciate it. Thank you all. God bless.